So now the fourth root means that we're going to think in terms stuff raised to the fourth power. So we're going to need a calculator for this one. So I'm going to say 2 raised to the fourth power equals 16. Okay? And then I'm going to then do 3 to the fourth power. These are usually, anything to the fourth power is usually pretty small because you'll see that the numbers get really big quickly. So 3 to the fourth power is 81. So I'm going to say 3 to the fourth is 81. And then 4 to the fourth is 256, I'm pretty sure. 4 raised to the 4, 256. So now I'm going to check to see if any of these numbers go into 405. So I'm going to check and see 405 divided by 16. Nope, that didn't work. I know it does. Just give me a second. So if I say 405 divided by 81, it's 5. So what I found was, on my calculator, that 405 is equal to 81 times 5. So here's an interesting thing. I'm going to take this number. First of all, we're going to write a lot of steps, so write small. I'm going to say that the fourth root of 405 times the fourth root of x to the fifth times the fourth root, oops, you got to remember to put that little 4, that index. So I'm going to say fourth root of y to the fourth. Now I can take this and rewrite it as the fourth root of 81 times the fourth root of 5 times, now this x to the fifth, I'm going to rewrite this and you'll see why in a second. The fourth root of x to the fourth times x to the first. The fourth root of x to the fifth. Now I'm going to leave y alone because it's already set up the way that I like it. So now here's the interesting thing. We said that 81 is actually 3 to the fourth power. So I could say that's the same as the fourth root of 3 to the fourth power times the fourth root of 5 times the fourth root of x to the fourth times the fourth root of x times the fourth root of y to the 4. Now you're going to look at that and go, oh my god, that looks confusing. But I wrote it that way on purpose because when you take the fourth root of something raised to the fourth power, they kind of undo each other and you're just left with the base. So this becomes 3. Now this is fifth to the first power, so that doesn't undo anything, so that becomes the fourth root of 5. But over here I have the fourth root of x to the fourth power, so that kind of undoes itself. So that's x. I'm going to put it in parentheses. And then over here I'm left with the fourth root of x, right? And then this fourth root and fourth power undo each other, so I've got y. Does that make sense? Well, it may not make sense, but that's what we're doing, okay? So if we're going to do this a lot. I had to erase that. So now here's what I want to do. I want to take anything that isn't in fourth root, like the 3, then I have an x, and then I have a y. We do not take the fourth root of those 3 terms. So I'm taking the 3, pulling it out, I'm taking the x and pulling it out, and I'm taking the y and pulling it out. But I have a 5 and an x, and I have the fourth root of both of those. So then I'm going to say the fourth root of 5x. That is the simplified answer. 3x y and the fourth root of 5 to the x. And maybe I should write that 4 a little smaller, so it might be confusing. You might think that that is y to the fourth. It's not. So x. Okay? And that's the final answer. So that was a tough one.